All right, everybody, welcome back. Third trimester. We're really chipping away here. Only 33% of the year left to go, and everyone knows the spring trimester is the best. The weather's getting better. That's basically it. That's the only reason why it's better. And obviously, we do some fun stuff in the spring. So, we're going to start off today, get you guys thinking a little bit. Now, where we're at is the Revolutionary War has just ended. Okay, the peace treaty was just signed, so now for many Americans, it's now what? Remember, we were not supposed to win this war. So when we did war, it was a lot of people were like, well, we didn't really think about the next step. We didn't really think we'd win. We wanted to win. But now it's like, well, now what? Now what do we do? How do we set up? How do we stay united? Do we stay united? Do we split up? Do we each, there's so many different questions that needed to be answered. And that's why, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay. This week, we're going to look at kind of America's first attempt to govern itself. We're going to see how it fails. But there's a million different ideas being thrown around before we come up with the Constitution. The Constitution did not happen first. We did something before, but it was a bad plan. So today, I'm going to have you guys come up with your own plan on what it should look like moving forward. Sorry about that. So here's the assignment. It's called a Now What assignment. It's your job to come up with what we're going to do. So here's the directions. It says, the United States has just won their independence from England, and now they are in a desperate need to establish a central or federal government, or a national government. Many different items needed to be addressed in establishing and organizing this new nation, and many different ideas were brought to the table on how to handle these items or issues. Below will be the topics that, needed to be addressed. Lay out your own ideas and thoughts on how the new United States should handle these issues. Each topic will require a multiple sentence response in order to receive full points on the assignment. Spelling and grammar count, so make sure to take your time. Good luck, and don't be afraid to get creative with your responses. All right, so here's some of the major issues that the country was facing. All right, so the number one was, how many votes would be needed to pass a bill? There's 13 states right now. Do we need all 13? Is it a majority? Do we need 9? Do we need a random number? Do we need 2? Okay, so come up with that. How many votes would you need? And again, multiple sentence answers, spelling and grammar counts. So, type it out full sentences. How many? Number 2 is, should Congress have sole authority over all states, or should each state establish their own Congress? Basically, should the central government be able to control all the states, or should each state kind of act as like an independent country, so to speak? If they have their own Congress, well, then they're kind of all acting as individual countries, just maybe working together. So kind of your call there. Number 3 says, should Congress have the power to declare war and sign peace treaties for all the states? Or should each state have to declare war and sign their own individual peace treaty? So, for example, if we want to sign the peace treaty with Britain, does Congress have the power to sign the peace treaty, and now that's the peace treaty for all the states? Or does, like, Virginia need to sign a peace treaty? Then Massachusetts? Does each one need their own peace treaty? All right. Number 4, should each state have to establish their own army, or should we create one big national army led by the national government? Or should we stick with more militias? Again, kind of your call. Number 5, should each state create their own currency, and should there be one currency for the whole nation? Before they had the euro in Europe, each country had their own separate currency. So when you would cross borders, you would have to go to a machine or go to a special place and exchange your money for the new country's currency. Should that be the same thing in the United States? If we go to North Dakota, when we get there, do we have to go to like an ATM and exchange, our Minnesota money for the North Dakota money? Number 6, should the central government be allowed to collect taxes? Should we tax anybody? We just fought a war over it. Should we tax people? Number 7, should the central government be allowed to create national laws, or how would they enforce those laws? Should each state just make their own laws? So, maybe, for example, I don't know, you go to California and the speed limit there, there's no speed limit there. Okay, or maybe, In Wisconsin, the drinking age is 12. You know, does the national government get to create laws that everyone has to follow? Or are we going to let each individual state kind of make up their own laws? And sometimes the laws may differ or counteract or contradict each other. Number 8 is, what should the central government do if the states declare war on each other? This was a very big possibility. The states, remember now, it's very different back then. Everyone saw themselves not really united. You're kind of just from the state you're from. We got to keep that in mind. If you ask someone where they were, you know, if you ask someone where we were on vacation, I always use this all the time. You know, now we'd say, oh, I'm from America. Like if I was in Europe and someone asked me where I'm from, I'd say, oh, I'm from the United States. But back in these times, if you ask somebody, and like you'll say they're on vacation in Europe, hypothetically, they would say whatever, you know, colony they were from. Oh, I'm from Virginia, or I'm from Massachusetts. You know, we say that now in the United States, but you know, if you're from Mexico and they ask you where you're from, you're not going to say Minnesota. Okay, you can say America. So these are the 8 questions that need to be answered. Answer them in multiple sentences. That's at least 2 for each. Okay, even ones like this, just come up with a second sentence. Spelling and grammar count. So again, if you're typing it out, blue line is a bad thing and a red line is a bad thing. Right click it and fix it. I'm seeing too many typing mistakes when it's clearly showing you that it's wrong. And it's starting to get annoying to me. So now spelling and grammar is going to count from this moment forward. Okay. So again, there's no red, there's no blue. I'm probably okay here. Okay. Yeah, so that's what we're going through. Just type these out on a Google Doc. Just have, you know, number 1, and then type out your answer. I know which question you're answering based on what number's ahead of it. So just turn in your Google Doc. This is due tomorrow morning at 8:15, and this one should be worth 10 points. Yep, there it is. And again, there's no wrong answers, guys. There's no wrong answers. So don't feel that you have to get the right answer or the most reasonable one. I mean, get creative with it. You know, maybe you have better ideas than they did. Who knows? And then tomorrow, I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation on what our first attempt actually looked like. And you can see how your thoughts compared. And we'll also look at some of the ideas they come up with, and we may laugh at them. How, you know, hindsight being 20/20, we can look back and be like, yeah, that was never going to work. All right. That's it, guys. Have a good day. If you have never had me as a teacher before, I threw on this About Me slideshow here. It's just basically where I'm from, where I went to college, some things I'm interested in. It's just kind of a little short About Me slideshow if you're interested in that. If not, no big deal. I've had a lot of you guys before anyway. So that's basically it, guys. Have a great day. Have a great start to the trimester, and let's finish this year strong.